The Waycross City Commission meeting is now called to order. Let us stand for our invocation and our pledge to flag. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, the city clerk will read our section 266, decorum.
The mayor, commissioners, staff, and persons in attendance shall conduct themselves in a professional and respectful manner. Except when expressly authorized by the mayor, all remarks, comments, and questions shall be directed to the mayor and not to individual commissioners, staff, or persons in attendance. A commissioner, staff, or person in attendance shall not speak at a meeting until the commissioner, staff, or person in attendance has been recognized by the mayor and granted permission to speak or ask a question. All comments, remarks, or questions made by commissioners, staff, or persons in attendance shall address the item or motion that is being discussed or be pertinent to the resolution, ordinance, or agenda item before the commission. No one shall make or use inappropriate, insulting, vulgar, obscene, and/or profane language or make any offensive remark or comment while speaking, nor shall anyone accuse any other person of being immoral, violating any law, rule, or regulation, or committing any ethical violation. Further, no one shall use this opportunity for public comment to speak about any activity undertaken for political reasons or ends, such as campaigning for votes before an election, campaigning for another person, making speeches, attempting to raise funds, etc., or otherwise promoting oneself or one's private position. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, we will ask that our council, our commission, look at the agenda, and I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, if I may impose, there was supposed to be something on here tonight about appointments to the Board of Zoning and Appeals and their executive duties. If that could be, if someone would make a motion, if they're so inclined, to amend the agenda to add that.
Very good. We have two posts, post 3 and 4. The names of the persons sitting on those seats at this point.
I'm just going to move that we add this to the agenda.
We have a motion from our Commissioner Nelson to add posts 3 and 4 to our agenda. Second from Commissioner Bennett. Looking further at the agenda, do you see anything else that may need to be added or deleted? Hearing no discussion, call for the question. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. This agenda is approved with posts 3 and 4 added. Madam Clerk, do we have any remarks on official action?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay. At this time, we'll call for our employee of the month.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Mayor. This employee of the month was nominated by a lieutenant in his department. Josh Waldron has worked for Waycross Fire Department for 6 years and has been a driver and engineer for 4 of those years. He is a dependable worker and never complains about any task that is assigned to him. Recently, Josh took it upon himself to build a new restricted passage training prop. This prop is used to help firefighters train their skills on escaping IDLH, which stands for Immediate Danger to Life or Health environments. If this was not enough, Josh also supplied the lumber for the training prop from his personally owned sawmill. Josh is an asset to the Waycross Fire Department and to the citizens of Waycross.
Director Hendricks, thank you for that presentation. At this time, let's call for Mr. Joshua Waldron. Congratulations. On behalf of the city of Waycross, we do want to congratulate you on being the employee of the month for the month of April 2024. This is for your outstanding performance. Turn around for the camera, and I'm going to also give you a little remuneration. Congratulations. Our next executive duty is a proclamation. Proclamation is in observance of the Child Abuse Prevention Month. Reading, whereas over 3.6 million cases of child abuse are reported every year in the United States, and in 2021, 106,948 cases of abuse and neglect of children were reported in Georgia. Of those cases, 9,843 children had confirmed cases of abuse or neglect, and about 38,806 children received some type of intervention, such as family supportive services. Whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions requires input and action for everyone. And whereas our children are our most valuable resources and will shape the future of Waycross and Ware County. And whereas child abuse can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse. And whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas effective child abuse preventive activities succeeded because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about the child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families, now therefore, we, Dr. Michelangelo James, Mayor of the City of Waycross, and Elmer Thrift, Chairman of the Ware County Commission, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Waycross, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to promote the safety and well-being of all children and families, and to recognize the child welfare workforce and allies who work tirelessly to protect our children. And we honor the strength and the resilience of adult survivors of child abuse. In witness whereby hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Waycross to be affixed this second day of April 2024. At this time, I would like to invite all of our child welfare workforce and allies to come forward as I make this presentation with our representative for today. Let us come now for our picture. Who's going to stand as the representative standing in? We're going to get centered.
Yes.
So that he can hear.
Hey, right.
Mayor right here.
Right here. Everybody.
You come on this side of me.
Just a couple. Somebody else. One more. There we go. That's. Now look here on 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
We're going to ask that, Mr. Hawkins, if you would present the names of the individuals for post 3 and post 4.
Yes, sir. So the post 3 was King Gory. Again, he currently serves and is willing to serve again. And post 4 is Mr. Ronnie Shepard, and he likewise serves and would serve again if the commission sees fit.
Would you remind the commission of what they're being posted for or standing in position?
So this is a 3-year term to the Waycross Board of Zoning Appeals. So they hear anything that deals with an appeal. If they're seeking a variance for a larger sign or setbacks, things like that, that's what this board is for.
Thank you so very much for the
Yes, sir.
presentation.
If I could, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
And this term, it should have been done on January 1st, so it's a 3-year term starting January, effective January 1st, 2024 for 3 years.
Very good. So this term will end December 31st, 2027. Or 26.
26.
Very good. Because minus 4. Having heard that, we entertain a motion to receive post 3 and post 4. We have a motion from Commissioner Nelson. Is there a second? Second. We have a second from Commissioner Davis. Any comments or questions regarding these 2 posts? Hearing none, we'll move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. These posts are filled. At this time, we look to our official reports, and our city manager will make his report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few items to report on. First, I'll start with the spring cleanup, and I would like the Public Works Director to kind of speak on that, if he can.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager. Public Works has started our spring cleanup, and we actually have a container at E.E. Moore Park. We'll be moving it each week to a different location. It is put on Facebook which location it is. We have a calendar out there already. So if you're interested in bringing some items that you have where it normally would cost you money, the city is absorbing the cost for that now for our citizens to clean up around our homes and that kind of stuff. Also, if you need help with removing some items, maybe that you don't have any help getting stuff there, if you would contact the city manager's office or Public Works and let us know, then we can see if we can assist you and maybe get some stuff taken away from your home. So we're doing that throughout all 5 districts, and it'll be the whole month of April. So please let us know if we can be any assistance to you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smart. Mr. Mayor, for some extra clarity on that, the cutoff for requesting help was last Friday, but we'll extend it to this Friday. But we need the citizens to understand it takes about 3 days to turn around once we get notification. So if we don't know, like before that Monday, it's hard to be helping them out by that Friday, if that makes sense. So it's very important to let us know as soon as possible if they need assistance in moving some of their bigger items. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Mayor, we had a survey that went out today, just asking about feedback on 3 concerns. We've had some citizens request arcade being brought to Waycross. We just asked for some feedback on that, and a few questions about our homeless problem we have right now. Just some feedback from that. We will conduct the city update this Thursday. We missed it last Thursday due to some technical difficulties, and during that update, we will discuss some of the commission concerns in regards to safety, that being the recent scams that have picked up in the city. We'll provide a little more guidance on that. Of course, speeding, violence, the importance of the upcoming election, some of the ticket items on the election one being the TIA vote, and then some events to come in the future as far as things to do for families here in Waycross. And that's all I have at this time, Mr. Mayor. I'll pause for your questions.
Commission, do you have any questions of our city manager? Hearing none, I'll move to my report. And I have just a few PSAs. One will be the Swamp Fest. 20 years is scheduled for this coming Friday and Saturday. The kickoff will be at 5 p.m. on Friday. At 5:30, the TAMs will be live on the main stage. And at 8, the Swinging Medallions will be live on the main stage. And everything will close that night at about 11 p.m. The following morning, Swamp Fest will open up again at 9 a.m. And the Swamp Fest car show registration will begin at 9. And we will see Swamp Fest car show beginning at 11 a.m. Pet Zoo opens on Mary Street at 12 p.m. And then there is on stage Austin Lane live, and that will start at 12 p.m. At 2 p.m., the contest will take place, and that will be the Coca-Cola Chug, the eating contest with the DQ Dilly Bars, the Pizza Inn, the Chick-fil-A, and the hot dogs. So the 3:30 p.m., the Pine Box Dwellers live on main stage. 4 p.m., the Car Show Awards will be given. And at 5 p.m., Miss Swamp Fest pageant recognition will be on the main stage. The petting zoo will close at 5 p.m. And at 6 p.m., Derek Flowers Band live on the main stage. 8 p.m., We Got the Beat live at the main stage at 8 o'clock. Fireworks will be at 10:15. And then Swamp Fest closes on that Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Rev It Up for Kids will be April 13th, 2024. This will be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Okefenokee Fairgrounds. And this will be sponsored by Satilla Advocacy Services. Just a quick reminder, effective as of April 1, which was yesterday, City Hall will open the doors to customers at 8:30 a.m. and close at 4:30 p.m. daily. And that's all I have. We now look to our city's clerk for our consent calendar.
Mr. Mayor, I need to make an alibi. I forgot to mention the tomorrow's open time due to the storm.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow we're gonna open City Hall at 9:30 due to the incoming tornado and high winds. All the workforce will report at 9 o'clock, and the doors will be open at 9:30.
Very good. Thank you. Citizens, please be careful with those storms and winds tomorrow. At this time, our consideration calendar or consent calendar.
Yes, sir. We do not have any approval minutes, no ordinance second readings, no privilege licenses at this time. Mr. Mayor.
Okay,
And no
thank you.
privilege license. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we look to our procurement director for bids. Ms. Jackson.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, purchasing has 2 items before you tonight. The first one is request to surplus the property located at 1200 Colley Street. It was the old Colley Street School, I believe. It was given to us by the Ware County Board of Commissions some time ago, I believe in 2001. This property is approximately 9.09 acres. It's parcel number WA 0710-076A. We are asking that this property be surplused, if so, so that it can be sold and that revenue can go back to the city, as well as this be added to the tax roll to get future revenue.
Very good. Commission, you have heard the presentation of the bid by our purchasing director. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval, Mr. Mayor.
We have a motion from our Commissioner Felder and a second from our Commissioner Nelson. Any discussion on this bid? Hearing none, we'll move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Bid approved. Madam.
The next
Procurement.
item we have before the commission is another request to surplus a parcel of property located on Nunn Street. It is approximately 0.22 acres. Parcel number WA 1806004. And we are asking also that this property be surplus so that we can get the revenue to add back into our general fund as well as put on the tax roll for future revenue.
Very good. Thank you. Commission, you have heard the bid presented by our director. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
We have a motion for approval by Commissioner Bennett. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Davis. Any discussion on this bid? Hearing none, we'll move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Bid approved. Thank you. Our ordinances. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance to amend the code of the city of Waycross, Georgia, to amend chapter 38, traffic and vehicles, article 3, stopping, standing, and parking by adding a new section 38-71 pertaining to temporary fire access lanes on public property, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to provide for severability, to provide for an effective date, to provide for renumbering or relettering, and for other purposes. By adopting this ordinance, the City Commission will create a new code of ordinances section to allow the fire chief to designate a temporary access fire lane on public property when necessitated by construction or emergency situations. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commission, you have heard the ordinance read by our city's clerk. What is your pleasure? We have a motion for approval by our Commissioner Nelson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by our Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion or questions regarding this ordinance? Hearing none, we'll move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. This ordinance passes. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of the Waycross City Commission to approve the execution of an affidavit for release of all claims relating to the demolition of a house located on 912 Oak Street as part of a community development block grant project and for other purposes. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission will authorize the execution and signing of a release and quitclaim deed in order to release any and all claims to 912 Oak Street since in 1988, over 35 years ago, the city purchased the house on 912 Oak Street so it could be demolished using grant funds as part of CDBG grant project. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commission, you've heard the resolution read by our city's clerk. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
I have a motion for approval from our Commissioner Bennett, a second from our Commissioner Davis. Any discussion or questions regarding the resolution? Hearing none, moving into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Resolution passes. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of the City of Waycross, Georgia to approve agreement with Southern Georgia Regional Commission for technical assistance services and for other purposes. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission will approve an agreement at a cost of $2,500 with the Southern Georgia Regional Commission to provide technical assistance in the preparation of a Plan First application package for submittal to the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. Right to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commission, you have heard the resolution read by our city's clerk. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
We have a motion for approval by our Commissioner Felder. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by our Commissioner Nelson. Any discussion or questions regarding this resolution? Hearing none, we'll move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Resolution passes. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of the City of Waycross, Georgia to declare certain real property owned by the city located on Nunn Street to be surplus property and for other purposes. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission would declare certain city-owned real property located on Nunn Street to be surplus property and then, after lawful notice, provide for the sale to the highest responsible bidder by sealed bids, with the City Commission retaining the right to approve or reject any bid or to cancel any proposed sale. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioner, you have heard the resolution read by our city's clerk. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
We have a motion for approval by our Commissioner Bennett. Is there a second? We have a second from our Commissioner Nelson. Any discussion, questions, or comments regarding this resolution? Hearing none, we're moving to voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Resolution passes. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of the City of Waycross, Georgia to declare certain real property owned by the city located at 1200 College Street to be surplus property and for other purposes. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission will declare certain city-owned real property located 1200 College Street to be surplus property, and this matter will be brought back to the City Commission in order to approve an agreement with a licensed real estate broker to assist in its sale and disposition. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioner, you have heard the resolution read by our city's clerk. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
We have a motion from our Commissioner Davis, second from our Commissioner Nelson. Any comments, questions about this resolution? Hearing none, we'll move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. This resolution passes. Any other agenda items not mentioned? None. At this time, we move to our last call, and we'll start with our Commissioner Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. City Manager, that marquee at Northside Park, that marquee, we were talking about putting the light in there.
I got it, Commissioner.
I was wondering what's the status on that.
I'll verify after this meeting, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. At this time, Commissioner Bennett.
Just want to thank everyone for coming out. Citizens, be safe tomorrow, and I hope to see y'all at Swamp Fest Friday and Saturday. You won't miss out on Saturday. It's gonna be fun. The pumpkin food. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, we'll go to our Commissioner Felder, District 3.
Thank you, Mayor. As always, thank you all for coming out to our meeting. I'd like to just take a moment to recognize Jason Rubenbauer for being present as well. And I appreciate everything that all department heads and city employees do to take care of the city. And just as a strong word of encouragement to our citizens, I think that we all are well aware that we have various manufacturing companies that are planning to take root here in our city. And I think it's very important that our citizens are skilled, trained, and prepared, along with pursuing educational opportunities that are out there for them in this community so that they can take advantage of these employment opportunities. As a commissioner, when we have these industries that take place here in our city, we want to make sure that our citizens that reside here are top choice for these employers. So if you know someone who is in need of education and skills training, please have them to contact Coastal Ponds Technical College, as well as the Coastal Ponds Technical College Adult Education Program, to be educated and trained in preparation for our employers that are coming to our city. Thank you, Mayor. Back to you.
Thank you. At this time, we look to our Commissioner and Vice Mayor, Commissioner Nelson.
I have nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Well, for me, I have just a few announcements, and one of them happens to be this coming Saturday is the birthday of our Commissioner Davis. And we want to say happy birthday to you and hope that you are enjoying your day. And we know that this is a great time. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Commissioner Davis. Happy birthday to you.
So we have a great plan for this weekend. We ask that everyone come out and support. We look forward to the great events and activities that are going to be taking place. To each of you who have come today, we want to say thank you for being present. And again, congratulations to Joshua Waldron for being selected as our Employee of the Month. With that being said, Do we have any other questions or comments before we go? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. 30 minutes on the